Yes. I just recently moved to NDG just over a year ago, but I've been something of a resident of NDG for quite some time now. I've been protesting against clergy abuse, anti-religious intolerance and bigotry and various other issues in front of the Unitarian Church of Montreal for the better part of 20 years. In that time period, there have been numerous interventions by the police. I was arrested falsely on criminal charges for allegedly violating Section 176.3 of the Canadian Criminal Code in December of 2000. There was a restraining order brought against me on, I believe, spurious grounds in 2007. Numerous interventions by the SPVM police officers, some of which where they clearly abused their power and authority. Part of being a leader of a municipality, I think, is to ensure that the human rights and freedom of speech are respected. And I would like to say that in the last few years, the Station 11 police have actually basically stopped. I think it might be partly because I raised, the question, sorry. So the question is, as mayor of NDG, if you are elected, what will you do to ensure that the local police force basically fully respects the Charter of Rights and Freedoms and does not engage in intimidation and harassment, false arrests, and so on that suppress freedom of speech?
And we will start with Mr. Copeman.
I'm absolutely not going to comment on the individual nature of that intervention. I don't think it's appropriate. There's a fine line between being the mayor of a borough, an elected mayor of the borough. Sometimes I think Mr. Gavedian doesn't really want that job. He wants to be our borough director. So if he wants to be our borough director, he should apply. If all he's worried about is delivering services and make sure that the garbage gets picked up, then we'll try and find a place for him on staff. With regard to the SPVM, there's a balance between interfering from elected officials and politicians and allowing the police to do their job. And frankly, I don't intervene in police matters. I think that's inappropriate. If people feel that they're the subject of harassment or intimidation from the police, then there's recourse either in the courts, there's a police ethics commissioner, there's an ombudsman, but the last thing I would do would be to interfere in police operations locally here. That's the role of our commanders, and it's the role of the director of the SPVM police, not up to elected officials.
Thank you, Mr. Gavetian.
Je ne reviendrai pas sur les commentaires de M. Copeman, mais votre cas, monsieur, c'est un cas personnel. Alors, moi, je ne suis pas au courant de toute l'histoire et je ne peux pas commenter, mais ce que je sais et je dois affirmer, c'est que tout citoyen doit respecter les lois et les règles, et les gens qui sont en charge de faire appliquer les lois et règlements aussi doivent le faire avec toute la courtoisie et toute la transparence et toute honnêteté, et sans abuser, sans qu'ils se prennent au-dessus de tout le monde et qui abusent tout le monde.
Thank you. Ms. Montgomery.
Mr. Edgar has been harassing me for many years. And I can't do anything about it because he knows how far he can go with the law. But this is what women put up with in our society. And it has to stop. Stop filming me, please.
I am recording the whole meeting, not just you. I have every right,
Stop filming me now.
for the time being.